Buongiorno! Today we are in one of the most iconic spots of Rome. Can you recognize it? Pretty sure you all know Spanish Steps, but do you know what's the story behind it? So before telling you the story of the Spanish Steps, you need to know what's around it. So this is the so-called Piazza di Spagna, the Spanish square, with the Bernini fountain of La Barcaccia, and over there is the Embassy of Spain. Yes, because originally this territory was a territory of Spain. On the other side, the territory on top of this hill was a French territory. You need to know that until the 1700s, the Spanish Steps did not exist. In fact, here there was just a slope, the slope of a hill, and this square was not connected with the square upstairs. Till one day, both the French and the Spanish realized that a connection here was really needed, because they will connect this road here that leads to one of the most important churches of Rome, St. Mary Major, to Via dei Condotti, which goes all the way down until the Tiber River and the harbor. This happened in the 1600s, when both the Spanish and the French agreed to build a staircase. But one question came out. Who's gonna pay for that? French pay? Should the Spanish pay? Or the Pope? Who do you think paid in the end? In English, the name of the steps is quite deceiving, as they are called Spanish Steps, but in reality, it's the French that financed the works. But the French agreed to pay only at one condition, that they could put the statue of their French king, Louis XIV, on top of the staircase. When the Pope heard about that, he said, no thanks. So the fact that the Pope disagreed with this condition led this project to be abandoned for another century. It's a real shame, because Bernini, who already projected his fountain with his father, had a project ready for the staircase, and he took inspiration from one of the most ancient sanctuaries of ancient Rome, the Sanctuary of Fortuna Primigenia in Palestrina. 100 years later, finally the French decided to build the staircase, without including the statue of the king, of course, and also together with the financial help of the Pope. That is why today we can still see on the staircase two symbols. One of them is the lilium, the lily of France, and the other one is the eagle that is the symbol of the Conti family, the family of the Pope Innocenzo XIII, who financed the step. The staircase was eventually commissioned to the architect De Sanctis, that completed the works in 1725. De Sanctis took the original project of Bernini. And the staircase is composed of 3 terraces, 3 levels, to recall the idea of the Trinity, because the church on top of it is dedicated to the Trinity, Trinità dei Monti. And as we are here, another curiosity is that in this building, at number 26 of Piazza di Spagna, the British poet John Keats used to live. This is where he spent his last few days before dying. His house is now been transformed into a memorial museum, which is really nice to visit. Unfortunately, at the moment closed for COVID, but I really recommend you to go and see it. But John Keats was not the only British person living in Rome. Yes, because during the 1800s, a lot of young people from Britain and from North of Europe were coming into Italy for the Grand Tour. What was the Grand Tour? The Grand Tour was basically people traveling all the way to Italy to discover and see the newly discovered Pompeii, Herculaneum, and all of the archaeological finds that took place during the 1800s. Let's say those people were the first wanderlusters in history. They were coming here, making drawings of what they saw, and sometimes taking souvenirs like pieces of archaeological finds back home. Many of them were British, and in this area a big British community was living. But those British people, they found themselves in Rome with a very big problem. It was really hard to find tea. I've been living myself in the UK for some years, so I know how tea is a serious matter for British people. Imagine that at the time, in the 1800s, tea was so difficult to find that sometimes only pharmacies were selling tea. Until one day, 2 English sisters, the Babington sisters, decided to open the first British tea room in Rome, which is still here since 1893. When you come to Piazza di Spagna, it's not just about taking a picture in this beautiful staircase. It's like a mix of cultures, the French, the Spanish, and the British.